Okay, so this is the augmented reality interfaces for the Internet of Things 2018 edition. Let's start first in the bathroom. Check out the sunlight and moisture on the plant. We're here using a generalized augmented reality interface. In this case, we're using the phone. So if we hide the phone, it's just, well, of course, since this is a virtualized environment, we have an AR disabled, just so you know, just in case, right? The whole point of the demo, of course, is to see the AR interfaces. And in this case, we have the computer vision recognition of this tree, and we connect it to various sensors that are measuring the plant's moisture, sunlight level. And now we go into the kitchen. And we discover that with the connected refrigerator with the camera inside, you can see into it. And for fun, Nespresso machines. Of course, it's both read and write, but for the purposes of the demo, showing how, of course, you see additional interfaces to reality, and that gives you kind of an omni interface for controlling pretty much anything that is within this interface system. So imagine any reality object as a primary key into operating it. So in this case, we have, see, the icon of a curtain, which indicates that you have an additional menu here that lets you close it. And you can also open it again or stop it in the middle, or close it or stop it. Okay, that's kind of just, kind of fun that you can control your curtains like that. And so this is kind of in a way satirical to just if people are just wearing a giant HMD walking around the house. Of course, the use case would be you probably have your phone in your pocket or wherever, and then when you see an object that's connected, you would point at it for the Omni app to this omni-purpose AR interfaces app to load the proper interface that you can control with. So extending the sort of concept of the reality object as the primary key, it doesn't actually have to be an IoT object. It could actually be, so in this case, you can have an array of other IoT objects be sensors for non-IoT, non-commodity objects. In this case, there's a brown bear just hanging out there. And so in a real situation, there could be an array of cameras and other sensors there that helps triangulate the location and, of course, to identify the brown bear as being, just someone hanging out on your property, or creature rather. Right, so let's zoom it back into regular zoom here. All right, so what do we see? Oh, and of course other kind of more interesting things you could do for this sort of multi-purpose interface. You could also just, yes, this is a regular Raspberry Pi. You can turn that into something that has both a screen and a virtual keyboard with your phone, which means you get an x86 computer in your pocket without having to carry additional, other than your phone, additional screens and other sort of peripherals. So you can uniquely identify the Raspberry Pi by its QR code, and the circuitry actually identifies, which Raspberry Pi model it is. It's actually a great AR marker. So extending the concept of just interfaces, essentially you can do like a full sort of shell terminal, like full access to the device, especially if there isn't an existing API or sort of commodity interface. Primarily it's very generalized purposes that the AR interfaces can open up. And you can even look at the piping, like that's warming the floor in your bathroom. So in this case, you have kind of a transparent see-through mode, and that is also feasible in reality because you're able to identify uniquely based on the room geometry and other traits in the room. Think of it as like a giant AR marker again, that assuming you have the data for what's underground, perhaps cameras or something, or just something in the database somewhere for which piping is where, and then some sort of model of the database, model in the database of the pipes that would then let you place it uniquely there, and you can look under to see what kind of piping is there. So yeah, beyond just lighting, temperature, and simple sort of AR controls, IoT controls. I mean, with an array of IoT devices, definitely AR interfaces make it a lot more just kind of sensible to be able to control objects without having to use like a gazillion different apps and to learn all kinds of different interfaces. So this is very sort of universal. You just, point it, you see it, and then you modify different amounts and stuff to adjust temperatures and see what's inside your fridge, make coffee, control the sauna, and things like that. Yeah, so some of these are actually old hackathon winning projects and stuff. But yeah, this general sort of AR interfaces thing has been visually revamped and extended a little bit with, virtual wildlife outside. Just to basically exemplify the potential of, if you're able to like track everything around you, you can potentially put an AR interface on anything. And that's where reality becomes quite interesting. This is a virtual environment, so it's very easy to do that, but it's actually doable in real life right now. So that's where AR interfaces become very, very useful and not just interesting. All right, so this concludes my really, really quick and rambled sort of tour for SIGGRAPH. And check it out at IoT, here we go, on this site, iot.areality3d.com, or feel free to contact me. Thanks.